6, the gentleman from Alaska, Mr. Young, and a member opposed will each control 5 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentleman from Alaska.
Ask the unanimous consent to revive and extend.
No, without objection.
Alaska, Mr. Chairman, has a long history of placer mining operations beginning in 1800. It's continuing through today. In fact, Alaska is the only few places left, including California, that has placer mining operations. Most placer mining operations are small, but is a robust industry in Alaska, providing hundreds of jobs and contributing to the growth of rural Alaskan communities. The Bureau of Land Management 40-mile plan, finalized in the last days of the previous administration, upended decades of successful placer mining land management in the 40-mile planning area. The 40-mile plan imposed an overly complex regulatory framework on small-scale placer mining operations as part of an ongoing effort to discourage mining activity in the area. The 40-mile miners previously agreed to environmental remediation standards, and under the new plan proposed by the BLM, they are expected to reclaim land they have not mined or mitigated in ways they did not agree to with under the approved program. They are expected to remediate land that was impacted by placer mining over 100 years ago, which adds to their financial burden and makes it economically impractical for miners to continue their operations. This language has been included in the appropriation report language by unanimous consent for the past 2 years. This is a necessary piece of legislation, amendment to this bill, to make sure the BLM recognizes the miners do have obligations. They have met their obligations, and the agencies have gone against them. With that, I urge my colleagues to vote on this amendment and yield back.
The gentleman yields back.
I reserve.
The gentleman reserves. For what purposes does the gentlelady rise?
I appreciate the comments from the chairman, and especially the comments from the good lady who understands and has opposition, but I'd like to remind everybody again, the reclamation was taking place, the mitigation was taking place. They changed the rules after they agreed on it. And this is not a newly mined area. It's been mined before. In fact, I just came from there on 4th of July in Chicken, Alaska. This is where this mine is. Mines are lots of mom and pop operation, retired people. Chicken, Alaska, and they call it Chicken. You know why they call it Chicken? They couldn't spell ptarmigan. But that's why they call that small community. But they are trying very hard, but very frankly, the BLM came in with this plan. It's not working. In fact, they're spending very large amounts of money trying to implement their reclamation concept when it doesn't work. And I will challenge anybody to show that these miners aren't doing their best, but their proposal is trying to put them out of business. And I just think that's wrong. If I thought they were doing some harm, I would definitely not be for them. But I've been there, I've seen it, I've watched what they're trying to do, and an agency, I think, has forgot their role. And they don't support mining, and BLM was supposed to, and they've made it very nearly impossible for, very frankly, a mom and pop operation to do so. So I hope the lady can see her way to allowing this to become a law or amendment to this bill, and with that, I yield back.
The gentleman yields back, and the question is on the amendment.